All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Crown Council's live stream broadcast. I am Stuart Anderson, grateful to be with you, thankful to share this hour with you and introduce you to some of our incredible Crown Council members, their experiences to help you feel like you are not practicing alone, which you certainly are not. We're grateful that you would join us here. That is our goal. That is our mission, is to unite and bring together the Crown Council community at least once a week where you can feel and learn from the other members of this great community. Like I said, I am Stuart Anderson. I am here in the Crown Council office in Salt Lake City. And just a few housekeeping items before we get started. I want to share my screen and take you to where everything is happening for the Smiles for Life campaign this year. This is our yearly whitening campaign. Obviously, we have kicked off. We're a month in. Let me share my screen with you. This is crowncouncil.com. And from crowncouncil.com, you can log in right here. You can see that we're logged in under my name and then go to my directory. And under the Premium Member Hub, which is where I'm going to click, I want to just highlight real quick our 2026 Smiles for Life Whitening campaign leaders. These are our weekly totals that are posted here. The offices that are our top offices. As you can see, there's already been $367,000 raised. Some of our weekly top offices, Just for Grins, Dr. Peter Young, are over $15,000, Dr. Monson Mayer already, and over $10,000 Just for Grins, White Family Dental, and Control Alt Protect. Brent Pinnell, one of our resource partners from the annual event, who donated that from the stage. So he's up there. Grateful for him. Justin Beasley, $8,544. Hopefully you can find your name on this little top offices document. Grateful for every dollar, all the service that's being done, and specifically grateful to our great partners, Ultradent, who are providing all of our whitening for free and making it possible for us to do Smiles for Life whitening every year. So thank you. A lot of great things are happening on our Charity Champion Smiles for Life page. It's new. I'm doing some weekly updates, some resources, posting some things that will help each office participate in Smiles for Life better. So go there, as well as the Smiles for Life directory or hub here inside crowncouncil.com, which has all your tools, logo downloads, social media reels, and ordering some of the ordering process that's available on crowncouncil.com. So check those things out. All right, we've got two interviews today. One with Dr. Blake Bandiff, a member of Crown Council who has participated in our Young Dentist program. We were just together at the annual event. We do about a 30-minute interview together. Grateful for Blake. I'm going to play that interview. It was recorded where Blake and I met. He couldn't join us live. So I'm going to play that now. Enjoy this interview with Blake. He shares a lot of incredible wisdom from his practice, the two practices that he owns now, how he got started, and advice to some younger doctors and things that he's learned in his career. So enjoy this interview with Blake. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Stuart Anderson here with Dr. Blake Bandiff. Blake, how are you?
Good. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good. It's the middle of his workday, so grateful to connect. It's always kind of a challenge to connect with Crown Council offices, just like right in the middle of the workday. So thank you very much. Grateful to have you. We just had although I can't know, I don't know if I can say just, we were together at the annual event in Salt Lake. It's almost been 2 months already, which is crazy.
Time
Uh,
flies.
it's only snowed one time since the annual event, so you didn't miss out on any Salt Lake snow here. So it's
Did you
just
get out skiing a little bit?
we did a couple times, but man, it's just so weird here in Salt Lake with the snow this year. So, oh well. Hey, what
Yeah,
about what
next
about
year.
what about the annual event? How's your experience?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I think everybody on my staff ordered a picture from Carmichael. That
No
was just
way.
amazing to see his energy and his passion and how he talks about what he does, which was really cool.
I mean, and he's been so fun after the annual event. Like he wants to be best friends with us, which is so fun. It's cool to have a speaker who
That's really fun.
wants to be. Yeah, it's fun. Blake is in Summit, New Jersey, and I'm going to let him introduce his practice. Maybe tell us a little bit about how long you've been there, size of practice. Maybe just give like a little background of where you practice and size of team and stuff like that. Want to do that?
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
So I'm in Summit, New Jersey. I got this practice about 3 years ago. And it's, doubled in size since I first got it. And now I have two associates that work with me, and I have a second practice in Chatham that's about 3 miles away. So I'm kind of back and forth between both, and then my associates work at my original practice at Summit. We do we're starting to get more into cosmetics. It's definitely a general practice, but we do cosmetics as well, and then we've done a lot of all on X over the last 2 years. So that's primarily what I do now, and my associates take over the restorative side of things. So we're looking to probably, in the next maybe year or two, upgrade our workspace to maybe some additional operatories. And we've kind of maxed this place out with just 4 operatories. So we're looking at probably getting like 8 to 10. So if anybody has any contractors or knows any buildings around the Summit, New Jersey area, please let me know.
Very cool. I met Blake through obviously Crown Council membership, Young Dentist program. One thing that I really admire about Blake, because we've been together now at a few meetings, a lot of our Young Dentist program stuff, and from my point of view, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are kind of like two types of people in this world. The one like creeps over to the deep end and kind of like dips that toe where there's like, oh, maybe I'll get in. Blake is the opposite of that, where it's like, dude, he's all in. You're all in for making the best of your practice, making the best of yourself, being involved and contributing, and obviously just contributing to the Crown Council membership in general by just being with us and attending the things that make what we hope make a doctor better. I really admire that about you as a young doc. It's like I don't want to say it's refreshing, but that's a good word for it. Like to see how enthusiastic you are, just about building yourself, building your practice. Would you say that kind of tracks with what you believe of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to meet an awesome group of dentists in Crown Council. It's kind of intimidating whenever, I'm 33 and sometimes I feel like I'm the youngest guy in the room there. And it's like at this last year's Crown Council, Mortensen, that was just like an incredible story. And it started back with the grandfather, and now they have, I don't know how many locations, but half of where we sat on their side, and
Yeah,
half of the audience was
that's
was their
right.
team. And it's just phenomenal to be a part of a group that has doctors like that in it. And as young as I feel, it's nice to have people to look up to in Crown Council.
Nice. Maybe Blake, do you want to just start with why dentistry? Um, just quick backstory of how you got into it.
Yeah, so well, it's kind of just it's not that great of a story. I feel like everybody's got these like stories of, hey,
That's
my
okay.
family was in dental and now I'm in dental and I got to practice now because my dad had to practice.
Yeah.
But in my case, it was a little bit different. I went to a community college for 2 years. Really had no idea what I was gonna do. Played baseball because I was like, I'm not giving up sports. I'm not ready
Right.
to give up high school, really. So I went to a community college for 2 years, and then actually met with a dentist. My mom's a dental assistant, so met with a dentist at her office, and he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just taking like criminal justice classes. Maybe I'll work as a cop or do something in the legal system." And he was like, "Why don't you try something like this? Like, you like working with your hands, you like building things." And I was like, "All right, like I'll give it a shot." So I took some science classes, and then before you know it, I was applying to bigger schools from the community college. And I went to Penn State. And then from Penn State, I was like all in. And then I was like, well, I'm not turning back now. I've got some debt, and I gotta make this happen. So then I went to UConn for dental school, and here we are now in ownership. So it kind of all worked
Yeah.
out.
When you look at like I think you're a passionate guy, you're passionate about sports, you're still passionate about sports. You're passionate about being an entrepreneur. Where does that come from? Parents, or is that just kind of something that you've built in yourself? Or, I mean, are you self-made man? I mean, can you talk about that for a sec?
Yeah, so I actually don't have many people in my family that are entrepreneurs besides my uncle. He has his own business. But I was just grew up just working hard. I mean, my parents always worked and they grinded. We always had, they had two or three jobs and they would we mow lawns on the side, we'd cut wood. Um, I just think when you have that type of um, that type of work ethic, I guess it just carries on. Like once you're an entrepreneur, it's like, oh my gosh, like now I can build whatever energy that I'm putting towards this place. It's like building up my practice. So
Yeah.
I think it just works tenfold rather than working for somebody. It's like, oh man, I can build a business now.
Yeah, that's cool. I did same thing for me, mowing lawns, and I watch my friends go to jobs, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can go and crush 20 lawns on a Saturday and get paid twice as much as you for working harder in a job that, yeah, maybe it was kind of crappy at the time, but whatever. It was awesome to learn that lesson young. So
Yeah.
that's cool. If you were talking to maybe talking to young Blake or even young Dennis program, what were some of the challenges from dental school? Things that you look back on and you're like, man, I wish I would have known this about school or coming out of school, maybe even buying your practice or starting your practice. What were some of the things now that if you were sitting in front of a group of young docs, you'd be like, hey, you got to know this. I would do this different.
Yeah. There's so many things, but I feel like something that I wish I would have learned better is just getting into cosmetic dentistry and taking the right courses at a younger age. I mean, I think the
Mm.
Young Dentist program sets you up really well with Dr. Hornbrook, and you leave Hornbrook's class and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to become a Dr. Hornbrook. But then you realize how much he actually knows compared to what you know. So, like, the sooner you can start that journey and have a mentor like Hornbrook is just so beneficial when you get out into practice because once you take on ownership, your time really shifts from dentistry to now admin. Like today's an admin day. I was talking to you earlier. It's not my
Yeah.
fun day at all. It's handling HR issues. I already had two staff come back to me
Yeah.
and want to talk. So you got to take advantage of that time when you're young. And maybe that's your time to figure out if you want to be an owner because ownership's not for everybody. I mean, there's times where I think about like, hey, I could make great money and just like work a 9 to 5 and be done, right? But I want to build something else, and I'm fine with grinding right now to make that happen. So yeah, I just think take advantage of us that extra time you have when you're a younger dentist. Like you always want to be busy, you always want to be doing more cases, right? And that's great, but taking that extra time to learn the cosmetic side of things and the things that you want to do in dentistry in the future is so important.
Yeah. Maybe expound a bit on um, taking over this admin uh, portion. Like, did you just jump in? Were you like watching YouTube videos or what'd you do? I mean, were you like, how is this a thing um, that not that you learned, but that you're like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is part of my journey here. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Well, I never expected when I got my own practice that I was going to be this type of person at the practice where I'm handling, juggling 12 different issues and now have to really minimize my dentistry time to have
Right.
more admin time. And you don't know when that's going to happen, but we grew very fast from the beginning. I have a great associates and they've really helped the practice just kind of keep taking off. Um, I would say I just read a lot. I really
Mm.
try to read as much as I can to understand the management side of things and how to deal with those type of things that come up all the time in the practice. And there's fires every day, right? And it's how
Hmm.
you're going to put them out. Because if you put them out the wrong way, I mean, you might really flatten your practice very fast, and you have to be ready to step in and make big decisions sometimes when you don't want to make big decisions. So I wouldn't say that anybody really taught me. I mean, it's been helpful working with tops. I think you have to have a good system in place to start your practice, but also you got to keep growing on your own because your coach isn't going to teach you everything, but you also have to have that motivation to really want to grow your practice.
Yeah. I don't want to move on too fast from advice from dental school. Anything else? Anything else pop in your brain? You said there was a lot.
Yeah. Dental school,
I mean, anything else?
man.
Yeah, you're looking back and you're like, listen, young Blake, do this different, man.
Yeah. I would say I was just on a podcast with my buddy. I was talking about this with you
Yeah.
earlier, Stuart, and we were saying about things like that. If you could go back, like, what would you say to it? This was about being an entrepreneur. And I guess if I could go back to dental school, I would have tried to find the best mentor that I can find
Mm.
to lead me after dental school. And there's so many people out there to do that, right? And you don't have to rush to pick one or say like, oh, I need to, be with this person or whatever. Sometimes it just happens organically, and I think that's how you should let it happen.
Mm.
But if you can find that person, like dental school is the time to do it because you're meeting so many different doctors. You're going to shadow at different offices. So, finding a mentor is big because that's really going to lead you down. You see a doctor that's doing your type of dentistry that you want to do in the future, and you could see yourself in their shoes, then follow that person a little bit, see what they're about, learn.
That's great advice. Do you have a mentor right now? Like somebody that you turn to or multiple people? You don't have to talk about them if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
multiple people, definitely. I'm always calling on my friends,
Hmm.
and Crown Council too. I mean, there's doctors in Crown Council that I reach out to sometimes. Um, so I would say you just always want to keep that circle growing and never put away the opportunity to talk to somebody new.
Okay, cool. Any good stories from mentorship where you called somebody up and you were like, "Oh man, I'm so glad I called you."
Yeah. Well, I'll share how I got into tops actually.
Okay, okay.
Um, and I was like a year in to my practice here, and I was like, everything's going pretty well. Like we've grown. Like now we're placing implants because that was something I brought to the practice to help it grow. We're doing wisdom teeth, all that stuff. And as you keep growing, your staff keeps getting bigger. And then I started running into these walls where, oh, this person hits heads with that person. And it was starting to drive me nuts because, we were getting busier and I couldn't focus really on dentistry anymore. So I started interviewing coaches and had a bunch of different interviews, and Tops was one of them. And I met Ed White at a
Hmm.
wedding, actually, in Annapolis.
Yeah.
And he was there and he was like, don't pick your coach until you talk to me on Monday. So I talked to him on Monday and called him and he was like, get to my practice on this Friday or something like that. And I want you to shadow the whole day there. You can take whatever forms you want from the practice. You can do whatever you want. And he just said, I think you would just want to see this. And I went to his practice, saw everything. I was like, damn, like I need this in my practice. So yeah, that's how I joined Tops. And he was a great mentor, great guy. And I really owe it to him, I think, to partially where I'm at right now.
That's cool. I mean, he's like Crown Council OG, man, one of the originals. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to share this with him. We have to let Ed know.
you got to.
Very cool. Hey, can we talk about your philosophy of care? Kind of like the, the way I use that term is what's like your mission motto or what guides your practice now when you guys are leaving the huddle in the morning? What do you guys like say before you high five? Like let's do this. I mean, is there a thing that guides you in all you do in your practice?
We don't high five in the morning, but
Oh,
now I want to do
what do you
that.
do? Come on.
We just we share something from our culture guide, and then
Okay,
we
that's
get to
better.
work. But maybe we got to start high fiving.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
that's what we're gonna do. Tomorrow's my day at the office. This is Wednesday.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna start.
Film it.
tomorrow after morning huddle. I will
Okay.
film it. I'll send it to you. That's
Okay.
a great idea. I'm gonna actually just note that right now for
Okay.
tomorrow.
I can't tell if you're messing with me or if you're really gonna
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm not. I actually they'll be like, all right, like
Let's
because I
go.
got two new assistants in tomorrow. We have a packed day, so that'll be actually
All right, cool.
that'll be awesome. Um, what was the original question?
What like
Oh, what was
guides?
our
Yeah, like a
yeah.
lot of like for example, like Dr. Chris Hammond, one of his philosophies of care is like it's not about the teeth, right? We're about health, we're about our patients. Is there something like that that you're like, hey, this is our goal team that kind of guides you guys?
Yeah, so I think and this might be a little bit of tops mixed in with some other books. But our motivation every day is really to do what's best for the patient. And if that is, sending them to another provider that might be better for them, then it's that. If it's doing a full all on X case, then it's that. But we really strive to understand the patient and do what is best for them. So we're big on the new technology and AI. We try to implement as much as we can, really, with all this technology coming out. But at the end of the day, it's really like, what is, if we have a tough decision to make, it's really what is going to benefit the patient most.
Nice. I love that. And when it comes to managing your practice, like as you've taken over administration stuff, um, has there been maybe biggest challenge or biggest lesson learned since taking this role on?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is just HR issues that come up during the day
Mm,
and how you handle them, right? Like you can put off those issues until the next day or be like, ah, man, I'm busy. Like I'm just gonna talk with her tomorrow or whatever. Well, when you put off one of those issues, I mean, it becomes so much worse,
mm,
tomorrow or the next day. And that person's not gonna stop thinking about that all night, right? And you're not either. So I think just addressing issues like right when they come up is probably that's been one of the biggest things for me recently, for sure.
nice. When I want people to think about Crown Council, um, we have like a little tagline, which is helping you create a culture of success in your practice. Um, so I'd love to focus on that for just a minute. When you train culture, or when you are thinking about how do I make my team, this team, the best. What have you learned? What are you doing to build a culture of success? What does that look like?
I'm still learning it. I'm
All
learning it
right.
from everybody. I'm the young guy. I'm the 33-year-old. So I just come to Crown Council just to sit at the table and listen to everybody and then
Nice.
talk at the very end.
And then high five.
Um, yeah, and then high five everybody. Hey, I'm taking this idea. This is my idea. This is my
Okay.
pearl is high fiving
Great.
everybody after morning huddle. Um, yeah, I would say, I mean, it's a never ending thing. I mean, you really you can train somebody on culture when they first come into your practice, but it is something that you have to do every day. And I feel like sometimes that's lost if I'm away or somebody's out or something like that for a week, and we've kind of just like just been trying to keep it together. You lose some of that culture a little bit very fast. So I think it's something that you have to address every day. The culture guide's great from tops, but you also just have to be positive and show gratitude to all the people on your staff because if you don't, it's just show up to work every day, then eventually, most likely, you're going to lose that person if they don't feel like they're needed at your practice.
Yeah, great advice. I agree. We are kind of at the middle here in the Crown Council office of watching. I mean, there's 1,000 Crown Council practices that are talking to us, sharing their culture challenges with us, and that by far outweighs a lot of challenges, which is how do I keep my team engaged, recognized, and trained? And I love that you said it's like, dude, it's daily. It's like every day we have to read that culture guide and remind everybody, even doctors, about what's most important. So I love that. I do want to dive in as we come in for a landing. I've saved what I think is most important for the ending, which is your athletic prowess. I want to talk about. I just want to talk about balance. I know that that's always kind of like a game of sorts. Like, where do I put um, time and energy? And I've actually heard people say, "Is like, dude, I put balance is impossible. If I'm gonna give my time to the dental office, then that is, do you know what I mean? But maybe talk about that. How do you manage your day-to-day life, right? Like sports, work, health, all those things. Is there something you've learned there that kind of keeps you on track, or I don't know, that you've learned so far?
Yeah. I would say my perspective in the beginning was just to grind. I want to become the biggest, best practice in the area, right? And I want it like tomorrow.
Right.
So that was my initial, headspace. And my mental health in the beginning after my first year of practice was awful.
Mm,
I'd still work out, but like I wasn't eating like I should. I wasn't exercising like I should. So it's been a big focus of mine in the last 2 years is just to focus on my fitness, my health, my mental health, because you're just going to grind every day. I mean, you are going to go through some hard stuff in your head and your body's going to hurt. So you really have to really set some time aside for yourself. And it's crazy to me to see some of these practices at Crown Council that are huge. And these
yeah.
guys are like only working a day a week and like they don't even have the main responsibility. I still carry most of the weight at my practices, even though I
Yeah.
have two associates. But I think you have to, if you want to do that and put some time aside for yourself, you have to be willing to take a little bit of a hit, like you're going to go down a little bit to come back up in the long run. And that's what I've done with associates. And now we're kind of back to where we were, um, before I had them, and we're continuing to grow as well. But I'm just talking about as a practice as a whole. You just have to delegate things out, right? Like you
Yeah.
can't do everything anymore if you want to grow and have some more time to yourself, because you can't do it all on your own. So the more you can delegate, um, the more that you can do for yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, you've said a few times like you're the young guy. Dude, I just FYI, there's been 250 young dentists in the last 3 years. So you're not quite the young, but like
Maybe the young guy in Crown Council, though.
yeah.
Like, there's not too many. I didn't see too many 33-year-olds in the
You're
in
right.
the in the
Well, that's
audience.
that's because David kept him in the young dentist program
Ah,
room
true,
until
true.
but for you to learn that, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of often learned the hard way, right? Like going through what matters most and staying healthy and keeping things balanced often does take some trial and error. So, dude, wise words. Anything else, Blake, before we kind of wrap up? Anything else you wanted to share or talk about?
No, I enjoyed talking today. It's nice to talk about these things. Sometimes you forget about why you got into dentistry or what I'm even doing right now. But it's
Dude,
it's good to talk about it.
well, if you can't see it, I will remind you. I just think you're awesome, a great leader. You're charismatic, and I can tell you're passionate, and it's contagious. It's just fun to be around you and see what you bring to dentistry. So thanks, man.
Cool. Thanks, Stuart.
Okay, man. All right, thank you, Blake. Grateful to meet with you and thankful for everything that you have done to make Crown Council better, to make our community better, and specifically just the time that we spent together with you sharing here on the live stream. Our final interview for the day is with Dr. Marcus Stones and his wife Melanie. We're grateful for Marcus and Melanie, and they recently returned from our humanitarian trip to Mexico. And this is just a brief recap of their experience, some of the things that they felt, some of the things that they learned. Grateful for them and thankful for their leadership on the humanitarian trip. Some really fun and emotional things that they share here from their experience that they just got back from a week ago. So thank you for our humanitarians. We're grateful for all those that participate. And if you want to be part of the Crown Council humanitarian work, just go to crowncouncil.com, log in, and all of the information about our humanitarian trips are under the Smiles for Life hub. It talks about the dates, how to submit a form to participate, and some instructions on how to be part of the humanitarian trip. So enjoy Dr. Marcus Stones and Melanie and the things that they share about their trip. All right, I'm here with Dr. Marcus Stones. We are connecting. Well, I mean, I obviously want to talk to you all the time, but we should just do a weekly check-in, right? Should we just plan on that, like a weekly interview?
I'd love it. Be good.
Okay, so Marcus and the humanitarian team just got back from Mexico, one of our newer humanitarian opportunities, and you're the team leader of the group. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about annual event. I mean, it feels like it's been forever ago, but I mean, I guess 2 months is 60 days, so whatever, it's still fine. And anyway, I just want great to catch up with you. I know we've interviewed you before on the live stream, but why don't we start with just a brief introduction? Will you tell everybody where you practice and kind of what your practice is like, little history?
Sure. So I practice in Salem, Oregon, have for
Okay.
the past 23 years. It was neat. I actually bought a practice right out of school. Unfortunately, it was from somebody who had passed away while I was still in my senior
Hmm.
year. So I came into a practice that was well established, but I'd been sitting vacant for a couple months. So that was a little tough start.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm a general dentist, love what I do. When I say we, it's always my wife and I, because she's not a dentist, but she's part of it. Has been from the get-go. We have four beautiful kids. They're all married. We're empty nesters, and we love to
Hmm.
golf. So,
We were just together in Salt Lake at the annual event. You make that kind of part of your yearly, I don't know, maybe talk about that. Talk about why that's part of your life or what you get out of being at the annual event.
so it definitely fills our bucket. What I like about it is it's not a dental meeting, that these speakers that come, they're just fantastic. They give you a different perspective on life.
Hmm.
Um, I thought the speakers this year were extraordinary, and I didn't
Yeah.
know one of them coming into it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that part of these meetings, that you come ready to just be filled up for the year. We use the annual event as our kickoff for our state of the office address. So we gain a lot of insight from those speakers, and we share them with the staff. It's hard,
Hmm.
though, to take that energy and
I
repackage
know.
it and take it to your staff.
Yeah.
I think there's big benefit in bringing your staff, and I've only done it one time. And this coming year, I think we'll be able to bring a couple more. So,
Awesome.
but we haven't missed in years. And my first one was years ago when my daughter turned 16 for her birthday. I took her to the annual event. What a treat. I felt so
Nice.
bad for her. A bunch of geeky dentists having a good
I
time, but it was fun.
love it.
Yeah.
You participated. We dragged you up on stage. I don't know if you went willingly. At this year's annual event, we gave away a Make a Wish, which was really fun. And Marcus even read the scroll that they prepared to let the sweet girl we had know that her wish was being granted. What was that like? That was highlight for me for the meeting. How about you?
Well, we love Make-A-Wish. That is our charity that we support here locally. And so
Hmm.
we have a soft spot for Make-A-Wish. Our nephew had a brain tumor and passed away a number of years ago, and Make-A-Wish made their family's life so much better in the last, moments that they had. And so Make-A-Wish is special to us. And I love to poke fun at my own height. So going up there as the mayor of Munchkinland was totally.
That's right.
And you need to scoot forward so they can see you.
Yeah, hi Melanie. You're
My,
blurred
my
out.
wife just joined us here.
He blurs me out.
No, she's the highlight. But to go out there and see that young lady receive something that was, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's huge maybe to her, but it's not that huge when you think of the big picture. She was going, I think, into surgery maybe the next day or that early week
Yeah, she
to
was.
lose that arm. I mean, that's big. And
Yeah.
if the Make-A-Wish can take a little load off of her plate and make her feel special for a short period of time, that's meaningful. She'll remember that forever.
I
And
know. I
I hope
agree.
that the Crown Council knows of all the good that they do because it goes beyond just the moment.
Yeah. Melanie, we were recapping annual event, just talking about why you guys go every year, what you get out of it. Any comments on that? Any thoughts on just being at the annual event?
You know, if the annual event is the best reset for me for the year.
Hmm.
Like I walk away from that with all these new fresh ideas and just like it's just such a energizing. The energy level is always great. The speakers, especially this year, I thought the speakers were so good at I loved the looking up and just
Hmm.
I just think it's looking up and looking out. Like I think we can get, especially in today's world, we can get so caught up in looking at what's wrong with me and my life. But I
Yeah.
just loved the whole looking up, looking out, John Carmichael's whole experience and the woes of him trying to get his dream of going to space, get the eclipse, and
Hmm.
then how that all worked out was just amazing that, it takes a village to get things done and meet goals. And I just walk away thinking, man, if our team could get on board with coming away with us for a weekend, but they're all in different life phases, but it would do
Yeah.
so much good for our office to have them all get that. We try and bring it back and we plan our state of the office meeting after that so we can try and share some of that, while it's
Yeah.
still fresh in our mind because it is such a good, like we feel good about it with our business, but also what it does for us personally in our own lives. What we take away is like we wouldn't miss it. I've only missed one since we started going, and it was only because one of our kids had something and we couldn't be in
Yeah.
two places at the same time. But otherwise, like we don't miss it.
I feel like there might need to be a follow up here with what in the world is the state of the office address? I need to be part of this thing. What? Just maybe describe what it is. This sounds cool. I want to do this. What is this?
We learned it from you guys, or at least maybe
Ah,
Tom's training. So
Okay. Okay.
most people probably know, but it's the state of the office, like the president of the United States does, sets the tone for the year. We do have everybody at our table stand and clap, though. We require that. But
After every sentence.
yeah, it makes me feel good about myself. But so that is just setting the tone. Hey, what do we want to do this year? What do we expect to see? We just moved our office after a number of years of practice, and at my old age here, we moved our office
Hmm.
in January, and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it's going to take a lot of work to get that thing moving in the direction what we know it can be. And
Yeah.
so that's been a big push for us. But the state of the office helps everybody know where are we going. The odd thing
Cool.
is, though, is Stuart, about every time we do a state of the office, somebody leaves within 2 months of
They're like,
so
but that's not the worst thing, I guess. They're like, he's clearly said what we're gonna do, and I'm out.
it is a funny thing. It is a filtering session, but
That's
yeah,
good.
it's a good meeting.
but not this
Good.
year.
Not this year.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so um, it's not. I actually don't believe anybody out there would say to themselves, "Well, humanitarian work, like what a waste of time." I don't think anybody is thinking that. But putting the thoughts of like, I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna take time away from the office. I'm gonna pay for my own expense. Translating, I want to do good, and then actually going and doing good. There is a bit of a gap there. Can you guys talk about that for just a minute? Why do you feel like being part of a humanitarian trip is worth it? What is, because you are taking, you pay for it, you take time away from the office. It's not easy. It's not like you could be like, well, let's just go on a vacation instead. Like, why would, can you talk about that? Just why is this part of what you feel is part of success?
Melanie can probably articulate this so much better than I will, but you have to do certain things to experience the good that it brings into your life. These humanitarian trips, what I love is I think when there is a lack of communication because of a language barrier is a big equalizer in being humble. Like when you have to dumb everything down to a kindergartner's vocabulary and sign language to get your point across. You're humble in that moment. And everybody that you treat has a name. I love that part. And
Mm.
when you can connect on that level and who they are and give them something they can't receive anywhere else because it's either too expensive or too remote or difficult for them, it it is rewarding. We come away from these trips far better than what we think we provide.
Mm.
The value that we gain from these lasts the year, and we want to go do it again. And like I said, we've tried to make this a yearly thing for us. It isn't inexpensive. It's an investment. It's time.
Yeah.
It's effort. It's time away from the office. And fortunately, we brought some family. But this trip, um, I just absolutely love. You gain a bond with all those people that come with you, the dentists, the family members that come, the
Yeah.
auxiliaries that help fill in the gaps on communication and translation. We've made some lifelong friends in 1 week's time. And whenever we see them, there's a special connection because you
Mm.
serve together at these humanitarian trips. And Mexico has a serious soft spot in my heart. It is a wonderful place. Everybody needs to get down to Chiapas.
Mm.
They are fantastic. And we love the Dominican. We love the times that we've gone there. We've just been the last few times to Mexico, and it's different. It's totally different than the DR. So if you haven't had a chance to go to any trip, go to one. It doesn't matter where you serve, just go serve. It
Yeah.
it fills my cup.
Nice. How about you, Melanie?
For me, it is like I always tell people it's not a vacation. We go out, we work hard, it's long days in the heat or in the pouring rain. But and if anyone's thinking, hey, you know what, I don't speak Spanish or Creole, and so I can't go on these trips. The thing I've learned in all of our trips that we've gone on is love and laughter are universal languages. And I can go out there and I can love on these people and we can make them laugh because we can't speak their language. And, some of these experiences we've had on the trips are like life changing. They are to meet these people that are so happy and humble and so gracious, so, so gracious and grateful for what we come out to do. And yet, like Marcus said, we come home with our cups fuller than what we take. I mean, yes, we go on our own expense and we take kids and make it more expensive. But, but what we know our kids are taking away from those experiences, getting to see some of these areas and meet these people,
Yeah.
incredible. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't trade it for anything. It is something if we could figure out a way to go in March and November twice a year, like we would do it. We love it that much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you were gonna, I mean, let's say somebody's going for the first time, there are some fears or maybe some hesitation. Any advice you would give to somebody going on their first trip, their first humanitarian trip?
I remember my first one. I was really nervous the first clinic day. Like
Yeah.
I was seriously like worried. Um, but
Because you saw your setup.
you look at what you're working with, you laugh inside and go, how
Huh.
are we gonna do this? And you
Yeah.
just get to work. And in no time, it is fantastic. Now I'm small, so I'm on my tippy toes the entire week I'm working because I can't reach these patients. My calf workout is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's you find a way to make it work. And my kids that have sat, stood chairside with me,
Uh-huh.
they come away with a totally different appreciation of the blessings that they have at living where we do. But it is, you get your hands wet, you start working, and before long, at the end of the day, you don't want it to stop. You want to keep serving people, and you can hardly wait till the next day. But when you wake up and it's early and you kind of crawl out of bed, you're just renewed again when you walk into those I'll say those setup rooms, the clinic rooms that we work out of,
Mhm.
and you're excited for another day. It's a shame we only do it for 4 days, to be honest. There are times where we could probably be there for 2 weeks and keep cranking, but It's tough work. Come prepared to work hard.
Yeah.
But there is nothing quite like giving these individuals something they can't get anywhere else. And that is the neat thing about what we can provide as dentists. We do have a special skill that very few can offer. And when you can offer that, do it. Take the opportunity. You won't ever regret going. I don't think anybody, and if anybody on my team isn't smiling, we got some problems because we love to have fun on these trips. And this is all about enjoying the moment. Come and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I'd say. Come with an open mind. Come prepared to step outside of your comfort zone and get to know everyone and anyone. Like just spend the time, the few minutes it takes to get to know someone new, and they will become your lifelong friends. Like, yeah. I mean, it would be really easy for us to go when we've taken our kids and just sit by just our kids and just stay in our little group.
Right.
But the friendships we've been able to create because we encourage our kids to step outside and we step outside and sit with different people. I mean, that's what you need to go and do. Don't just be with your team, go and be with everybody.
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's even a few doctors who have, retired from Crown Council. I'll use Ralph Pameter, for example. And it's like I still see him maybe on social media or sometimes he'll send an email to us and I'm like, dude, I watched that guy just I mean, he was probably 70 years old when I went on my humanitarian trip with him, and I was like, I cannot believe he's working this hard. It was so cool. And I'm like, this guy's friend for life. Like it was inspiring to watch. So
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
neat.
I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Anything else about humanitarian trip you want to talk about before we wrap up? Anything else you want to say?
I would say the people we have for boots on the ground in both countries, in Mexico and in the Dominican, amazing. Patricia and Erich are like, talk about a Christ-like heart. They just want
Yeah.
to serve their people where they live because they love them and they see the need. I look at what they do to get things ready for our group to come in and be there. They are working on this for months before we get there to set up. And it shows, it really shows their compassionate hearts to be there and serve and love the people that they
Yeah.
live around. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Everyone should meet those guys as well.
Yeah, I know. Aaron, from our office came home and had a story where she had this big, new, like beautiful bracelet.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, did you buy that? You bought that in Mexico?" And she's like, "Well, no." She's like, "I complimented one of Erich's helpers." And I said, "That bracelet is beautiful." And she just took it right off her wrist and handed it to me. And she's like, "That's the kind of people that we're serving with." She's like, "I need to remember to keep my mouth shut when it comes to." She's like, "That's how giving they are. They're just
That's
like,
how
here,
they are. Yeah.
yeah, here's my bracelet." Anyway,
Yeah.
how about
Really.
you, Marcus? Anything else before we wrap up?
I have one plug. Anybody who can, I'm going to offer the invitation to go through your inventory of hand instruments, specifically extraction instruments. I've asked Joey to help us get a letter out or an email out to all the members of the Crown Council. If you have items that you can donate to the cause, in the Dominican Republic, they have a really rich supply of tools. It's remarkable. In Mexico, not so much. You bring everything, you take everything home. And we're just kind of starting out and making sure that we can give our very best. If you have instruments that you haven't used in years and you'd like to donate it, I know that we would love it down there. And Joey will be working on an option where we'll send you a box with a self-addressed envelope with it, and we can put all those instruments in there. Then we'll get to the next trip in Mexico. So that would help a ton. And if you can't make it this year, plan for next year. It does take some planning, so plan for it and be committed. Nothing's worse than things changing at the last minute because life happens. But plan for it. Make it a part of your yearly, I guess, things to do, things to experience, and you'll always be blessed for it. You'll love it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I want to. All right. Thank you for joining us today on Crown Council Live. We are grateful for this community and thankful for all that we do to raise the standards of dental care together, and to be a community that makes sure that you feel like you do not practice alone. So thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you next week.